So here is Kaz, Rocking Horse Winter Horse Trials 2, which is the advanced horse trials. And coming down the center line, could have a little bit more shoulder for, but he is stronger on the left lead, so that's why you typically will see me come down on the left lead. So still could work on a little bit straighter, kind of coming out of that halt, but it's getting better and better. And then preparing for the shoulder in, and he's getting much more supple through the lateral work. And now into our half pass, which this has been something he struggled with, and we've really been kind of working on at home. Still could have finished out that last couple of steps moving sideways, but overall getting better and better. And almost, I should have asked him to kind of step up square for that halt, but the rein back is pretty good, and he's very good off of the to send forward and then back into the shoulder in. So feeling much more rideable. And typically with my shoulder in right, he can tip a little, but then he was able to straighten up. And then this half pass this way is feeling much stronger and getting more fluid. And I'm really happy with the relaxation he's starting to get in the test, and coming up and through his back has been very much a work in progress for him, because sometimes he likes to tip a little low and get a little behind the vertical, but he's getting stronger. So now we're in our extended walk. He's feeling very good here, very much focused and on the aids. And I have to be careful to not kind of change the rhythm, because sometimes he'll get a little lateral when I pick him up into the medium walk, but then had a very good canter transition. And then into our canter half pass, which again, all of the lateral stuff has been very much a work in progress, and I just need to keep, once I get him to that center line, go back to a little bit shoulder 4 so I can stay straighter. But again, I'm very happy with his rideability coming in here for our change. Really nice. The left to right change is his strong change. Just had a little bit of a bug on him there. And then into our half pass. And again, as soon as I hit that center line, I try to ask him to go forward so I can keep the straightness. And then I'm going to go back to a little bit of shoulder 4 down the long side, coming in for this change. This is his weaker change. It was together, but that's still a work in progress for him. You'll see me give him a little pat with my hand, because again, he's kind of staying on the aids and staying with me a lot better. So now we have our extended canter. And then to come back at M. And trotting at C, which I was very pleased. Again, he's on the aids. Sometimes he gets a little stuck and wants to do a canter walk. And now we're in our extended trot. She's really coming up and through. And making sure I show the transition at F. And now coming down the center line into our final halt. And he was very good. We ended up scoring a 31.5, our best advanced score, and put us in the lead. So now moving on to show jump. And This course was proving to be a little bit difficult for, there were some rails that were coming down. But coming to the first fence, Kaz is jumping really well and feeling very rideable. Again, I want to make sure I come through my turn. Again, I'm really happy with how he's jumping. And again, the rideability has gotten so much better. And sometimes with him, especially when he knows there's a turn coming up, I have to make sure I keep very straight and keep him very straight because he likes to anticipate the turn sometimes. So he just jumped the stew out of that brown oxer. Gave me a great feeling. And coming to this combination, making sure he waits a little bit here. Jump that very good. And then coming around to the single vertical again, making sure we get a good weight distance, and had a very classy show jump round. Very good to keep our lead. So now going on to cross country, my goal was to really work on, again, for him, the rideability can be the toughest on cross country. So he is feeling very keen here. And this is our first corner combination with a right-handed corner, and he does have a right-handed drift, so I'm very mindful of that. So I wanted to make sure I came in pretty positive for that 5 coming down the hill. And while we had the drift, he still read the question well. You can see his gallop is looking very good and well within himself. But it was nice to be able to sit up and him balance instead of sometimes during the cross country he's just, will dive on the forehand with me, but he's feeling very up. And that allows me to go a little quicker. So when your horse is in balance, you don't have to make too many adjustments and you're able to be more efficient. So now coming around to these 2 oxers were on the 4-stride and they had ditches underneath them. They're a little bit of a narrow, but again, read that really well. Now, sometimes it's really good to run at Rocking Horse because we know Rocking Horse, but he also knows Rocking Horse. So the past couple of times he's kind of like taken off with me in this backfield. So it was going to be interesting if I was going to be able to have some control here. So you'll see I swing a little wide. It gets a little hard because I'm a little further away, but he actually does listen. Because I have a fairly significant skinny on this hill. And he comes back and is very rideable, so that was a nice change. And again, jumps that table really well. So again here, I have to ask him to come back so I can get the canter because we have a significant coffin with terrain. And I want to hold my line here. And he was very good to do that. Again, that was a open right-handed angle. And so now I'm going to go through the trees and going through this sunken road. He's very clever with his feet. My job is just to really get the balance and get his eye on it and keep the line. And you can see he's really moving across the country. And then I have to correct that balance a little bit here. And then we're able to land and keep going after that table, preparing for this next jump combination that's at the water. So I'm going to take a little bit of time here, and especially when I land, you'll see this from a different angle. I'm going to land and ask him to steady, and it was so nice to actually have the response. And then he went in for that angled 2-stride. Then we land off of this and had a turn to the corner. And again, you'll see this from another angle, so you can see the turn to the corner and the angle on those brushes, kind of the line that we have to thread. And then he felt very good over that corner, landing and galloping, and felt very keen. And it was actually our best cross-country run that we've had. We were 12 seconds slow and managed to keep the lead and get the win. But overall, I was most impressed with Kaz's performance and his rideability. And yeah, he came out really well.